name's Lindy Cowling and my website is www.lindycowling.co.uk, and today I'd like to make a video called The High Road to the Low Road, third up to fifth gear. I was going to sing a little bit at this point, but I just haven't got the courage to do that really. If you heard my singing voice, you'd know why. There's a Scottish song for those that are aware of it. I'll take the high road and you'll take the low road, that one. So that inspired me for the title. Basically, I mean, what I talk about in a lot of my videos, I weave in and out of this, is the transition we're making from the third up into the fifth gear, or from the old third dimension up into fifth, up through fourth and up into fifth dimension. That transition's already happened for most of humanity now, and there has been a split off of what way people have gone really. Some have remained in third gear and third dimension, and some of those people don't even know they've remained in third gear or third dimension. So life for them is pretty much carrying on as per normal. And some have transitioned up a gear, up through fourth, like driving a car, and up into fifth. There's this transition going on. When you transition up, what happens is you actually go into the consciousness of your heart. You will hear me repeatedly talking about this on any videos I do. I keep referring back to the same things over and over again, is that transition back into the state of the heart, and the heart opening up, the heart being ascension, the heart being consciousness of love, the heart being peace and the truth and the being you truly are. So we've got this split really in humanity, kind of the high road and the low road really. Third dimension, you know, many people have remained there by choice on a soul level, on a spirit level. Some through ignorance, and as equally many people have shifted up through the gears, you know, up to fourth and going into fifth, and once you get into fifth, even higher up than that. So we have this interesting time that we're going through. What will happen is that you will notice that in your workplace that there's a very strange dynamic going on now, where half the people you work with may be operating from this third dimensional level, and then you may be one of just one person in that factory or that warehouse or that office that has actually transitioned into your heart. So what will happen is you will feel very, very strange and like you're out of place, or that they're out of place, and everything that used to fit and used to be comfortable at work isn't anymore. You will find the same thing within personal relationships, you know, within your own home. You could have a husband and wife where the wife is now transitioned up into fifth, higher gear, coming from the heart, and the husband has stayed down in third, or vice versa. The husband has transitioned, the wife has stayed in third. Sometimes you can get both that transition at the same time, you know, where you both shift up in consciousness at the same time, but many times that doesn't happen because we are, you know, all going at different rates of spiritual evolution. So sometimes you can both keep pace with each other, like friends can as well. You know, I have people around me in my life, you know, a few of them that we've all kept pace with each other. A few of us have kept pace. Okay, well, I'll reword that. A few of us have kept pace with each other, where we are singing from the same hymn sheet, and we're coming from the heart consciousness, so we've gone up at the same rate. But then you'll find other people that haven't. Again, when I say this, there's no judgment in this. It just is what it is. You know, anyone that sees my videos will know I don't pull any punches. I have to say it as it is. I just have to say it honestly and truthfully as I'm experiencing it. That's what people appreciate. one of the biggest things they appreciate about me is that transparency and that honesty. You know, so other people, you know, for example in my life, they've fallen away, and you don't even have to fall out with these people. They've just fallen away because they've remained in third gear. You know, so this is what's happening, but it's happening right across Earth. It's right across humanity, and it was always destined to happen this way. You were never going to get everybody, you know, the whole of humanity transitioning into fifth at the same time. In an ideal world, yeah, but that hasn't happened. There was always going to be a percentage that chose not to do that, to transition, or, you know, through, you know, ignorance or, you know, interference, belief systems programming, didn't transition. So, you know, like I said, you know, I've said on previous videos, there's always some sadness with that, because you like to see that everybody be the best that they could be and achieve the highest that they could achieve in this life, in this timeline, but, you know, sadly it doesn't always happen that way, you know, and sometimes maybe it was on the soul level, they never planned it that way. So hence the title, you know, third to fifth gear, high road to low road. You will get this in every dynamic of your life, you know, where you work, where you live, anywhere that you've got interaction with people in any kind of connection. You will see this now, you know, and people will be called upon, you know, to really look deep. The interesting thing I have noticed is that, and that's really surprised me, is that as this transition was starting to happen, what some would call again ascension, practically every video I bring out, I make this point over and over again to get it across that ascension is descension into the heart from the brain running the show, and the elevation of consciousness, your consciousness, the vibration at which you exist, your frequency raising as a result of living through this, the heart taking the lead, this portal taking the lead. Surprising thing is that when people, you know, made that transition, I was one of those that expected those that went into the heart and changed up to fifth, went up to the high road and didn't take the low road. And I'll be in Scotland afore ye. I'm going to get that song out if it kills me. We expected that people that went into the heart would actually have a much easier time of it. That really hasn't been my experience or the experience of anyone else I know that's transitioned that way. It seems when you go into your heart, you really, and I've said this on videos before and at talks that I do, you really have to feel it, feel everything, and be very open, very truthful, very vulnerable. You have to feel it to get this centre to open, and you cannot think your way to the heart. And what's happened is people that have transitioned into the heart seem to be, you know, feeling more emotion than ever, and sometimes more vulnerable than ever, but being absolutely, totally compelled to be truthful and transparent and have that integrity. And because they're driven to really live their truth and live that, you know, live through that code, if you like, within them, that is causing a lot of change around them, a heck of a lot of change. And I think that's where a lot of the emotion comes in as well, because apart from their personal changing and their personal transitioning, is because when they're having to make physical changes like come out of relationships, come out of marriages, leave jobs, maybe change countries, change their whole lifestyle because they're honouring what they always wanted to honour, what they were driven to honour. Maybe they're listening to their heart and soul and spirit for the first time. Because they're making those changes, that, you know, obviously can be quite emotional, and it can bring up fear for them and all those issues again, you know, insecurity, judgment and all of this stuff. So, you know, I'm not going to, there's no rights or wrongs with this here. You know, people have, my overwhelming, I went through a thing, you know, for quite a long time of feeling really sad, very, very profoundly sad, because I'm of an angelic ancestral line. very empathic, twin flame, you know, all of that rolled in, and was very compelled to want to see and want everyone to transition, going up into the high road, going up to 5th gear, going into the heart. And as part of my evolution, as part of my journey, I've had to accept that not everyone can do that, wants to do that, or is choosing even to do that. So that's something that I've had to accept, and you know, some of those choosing not to do that or in ignorance of that have been people that have been very close in my life. But everybody goes at the pace that they're going at, you know, and there's a saying, isn't there, ignorance is bliss, and some of them in third are quite happy to be in third, you know. I know from my job as a medium clairvoyant as well that sometimes when you have to get involved in hauntings, in haunted houses, you can have ghosts that are in these buildings that don't know that they've passed over. They don't know that they're even ghosts. They're just carrying on in that existence. I would apply the same analogy, and I remember saying this in 2012 on a radio show I was on, that I felt it was going to go this way. There would be a split. I said it would be like the Grand Canyon, with some people going one way and some going the other, and that's what would happen, and that's effectively what has now happened. And going back to the analogy of ghosts, is where they don't know that they're effectively have passed over, and are actually, when you pass over, you go into another dimension. You know, there is no death, you just change dimension. It's the same with those that have remained on the low road or decided to stay in decided to stay in third. Is that some of them just don't know that on a soul level they've made that decision. Some of them are unaware of it, just like some of the ghosts are unaware that they're ghosts. And you know, that's saying ignorance is bliss. So you know, there's nothing that can be done about that. You know, that's all been done and dusted and decided now. So there's a saying, you know, you will attract the people around you at the level of consciousness that you're at, and you can only do the best in your life with the level of consciousness that you're at. My level of consciousness is changing every day, as is many others, you know, millions of other people, every day, every week. So where my consciousness is now, it won't be even next week, you know, but I'm aware of that. I'm changing very, very quickly, like many, many other people are. And so you just have to, you know, what I'm saying on camera today is the absolute truth of my knowing. Most of my information comes from my own knowing, my higher self, my oversoul, you know, that's where it comes from. Tiny, tiny bits of it come through channeling and source, but most of it's coming from the source within me. And all I can base it on is where I'm at the moment in my consciousness. My consciousness will be in a different space, as will everybody else's, you know, next week or the week after, and I may very well be saying different things then. It's not that what I'm saying now is wrong, it's just that it is at where it's at the moment. Anyway, thank you very much, and I will love you and leave you, and I will be back on camera soon. And whatever road you're on, the high road or the low road, I'm guessing if you found me on YouTube, you will be on the high road because you'll be attracted to my frequency. But if you're on the low road, well, don't worry, just do the best at where you're at, and just be true to yourself, and live in the moment, live in the now. Thank you very much. I'll love you and leave you, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.